So today, I'm gonna show you, or Stacy and I are gonna show you all of the upstairs of the boat. We're gonna show you the pilot house and everything that we want to do up there. Some of the projects that we've started up there, and we're gonna show you the engine room, the mechanical room, and the front lazarette where the bow thrusters are, or thruster. So we're gonna go over all the details of the projects that we've started and projects that we want to do, and go from there, and we'll show you this video. So thanks for watching.
Hey, this is what sold us on the boat. Having this 360-degree view is amazing. We spend so much time up here. We absolutely love the pilot house. So some of the things that we are going to do up here, we are going to mount the TV. We're actually going to countersink it into the ceiling. You're not going to be able to see it. There will be a skin. It will look like it does now, but it'll be in the ceiling.
And it's nice having a TV up here. Not so much when we're underway or anything, when we're out in the ocean for sure, but it's nice having a little TV up here while we're sitting, playing games and stuff, or having dinner. So, but it looks bad sitting on the counter like that. So
yeah,
we came up with the idea, Stacy did, that it could recess in the ceiling. So, or she asked if it could, and I
ladies,
said yes.
This is the way you do it. You just kind of pose the question, and if you have a really handy husband, it gets done. We make a great team. I come up with ideas, and he executes them. When we bought the boat, this was flush. And
it was vertical.
And Steve had a hard time being able to see the instruments while he was traveling when we were underway. So he brought this all out, and we have to finish this still.
A lot of trim work left to do.
And he tipped it forward so that the instruments are easier to see while he's traveling, while he's driving. We put 2 new Raymarines on when we got the boat. This initially was probably about, 6, maybe 8 inches high?
No. Like 4 inches.
Oh, 4 inches higher. And it was just tall.
Yep.
And so we could shrink it down with the new electronics. So we brought this down, and believe it or not, it actually made quite a bit of difference. So we've been really happy with that.
Yeah, it was hard to, even sitting in the spoke came with a nice stid chair, and even sitting in the chair, this box was so tall that held the old chart plotters. It was hard to see over. Yeah. So unless you were standing, it's still hard to see the compass. So that is going to get lifted up a little bit at some point. But for now, we're going to do a lot of work on this dash still.
The dash is going to be, the plan is to look great when we're
done. After I get done with the veneer and everything up here, because it all needs new veneer, we're going to have leather. This is just some cheap
custom leather
stuff, but I want a nice piece of leather put in there on each side, so it'll look like some nice rawhide. I think it'll go great with the teak.
I do too. I think it'll look great. So this is Steve's pilot house. So I don't have any storage up here. This is all his stuff. So all of his tools. We did have an ice maker in here, but it only ran when the generator was running. We're not big generator people, and we're not on a dock a lot. So
we don't need that much more ice.
And we don't need that much more ice. So we did take it out and expand the storage. We took out, there was cooler back here.
Yeah, like a built-in ice box.
Yes. So we took that out, and we actually put in our chest freezer. We have to finish the countertop for this. A lot of these projects we just hurried up and did before we left for our winter season, just to get them done. And now we'll kind of finish these projects over the winter season. So this will still, once again, be a flat counter surface. We did move the wall. It was butted up to the couch, but when this table was open, it opens like this. And when this was open, whoever was sitting here could not get in and out of there without lifting up the leaf. So we moved it so that we can keep the table open and get in and off the sofa easier. And that's been great. What else?
These teak and holly floors need to be sanded down. They've been sanded once in their life because I can see swirl marks from a orbital sander. But they're due again. I'm gonna sand them down. I'm gonna, especially by the doors. These doors have leaked over the years. So after I get sanded off all the old varnish, I will be filling all the cracks as best I can with like a penetrating epoxy, so I can get. I imagine the subfloor, needs some love. So I'll sand it, fill as much as I can in there with penetrating epoxy, sand that, and then finish the floors. So that's going to be a big project.
The lamination there.
Oh yeah. So the pilot house roof must have leaked. Oh no, this is a leak from the air conditioner upstairs here, or a heater, and it's all delaminated. So this all needs to be re-veneered down there. It's hard. The sun is at the wrong angle for shooting this film today.
But my elephant.
Yeah,
brass.
One of the owners, I don't know who, put these nice brass elephants in this bar. It's really nice to stand on, or to put your feet on when you're underway. There's it's definitely nice. So
for those short homies like me who have to be able to reach up there, that bar helps me get to the radios and some of the other instruments. I do navigate the boat at times. It is Scoop's primary responsibility, but I do navigate the boat from time to time.
Well, and you're at the helm for locking. And anchoring and a lot of docking.
Yeah.
I like having the physically stronger person handling lines.
It's not me.
Yeah, I mean almost.
Not me. You want to?
So you can see this plastic weather stripping that somebody added to the door. These are the pilot house doors that we were just talking about. And this gap right here takes water and gets water in between the door. This, whoever put this weather stripping on never caulked it. So water still gets in there and gets into the boat. These doors have taken quite a beating over the years. They're Dutch doors, and you can see where water would get in and then leak down and then get in between these doors, and this joint isn't the best. It's kind of been epoxied back together a little bit, but you can see. So then some of that water comes in. There's water damage down here, and some of that water damage has gone in and gotten some of the main parts of the boats wet. And the hinges need some help too. You can see the door doesn't line up anymore because the hinges are all cracked and popped. So this all needs to be taken apart, clamped or glued and clamped, epoxied and clamped, however I'm going to do it. And then a lot of work done on these doors.
Thruster? Oh
yeah, both the bow thruster and the stern thruster are going to get a remote kill switch. Our bow thruster stuck on once, and it would have been really nice to have been able to have flipped a switch and killed the power to it. It ended up being a low battery voltage, and the solenoid stuck, and then the thruster stuck until I could get downstairs and turn it off. So having a remote switch up here, Blue Seas makes it. That would have been amazing.
Yes. You're going to clean up the electrical underneath?
Yeah, there'll be several videos. The electricity, now that's full stuff. The electricity under there is, the wiring is bad. Not bad, just lots of different electricians over the years have, run wires here and there, new wires, and never taking out the abandoned wires. So there's just a lot of cleanup to do. So this is some of that wiring underneath the helm. And some of it's new, some of it's mine that I had to put in when I did the chart plotter. So I have some cabling that is mine in here, but a lot of this was a mess, especially here around this distribution panel. It's awful. Or the breakers, and then it should be over there at the distribution. So I'm gonna have to go through all of these wires, label them, pull them out, and reroute them so they're nice and clean and neat. There's tons of old wiring in here that doesn't need to be in here anymore, and stuff like that. So quite a bit of work underneath the helm that'll happen soon. The same company that does the opening windows for downstairs, we will probably replace or put in a new opening window.
4.
Yep, there, and the little funny shaped window in the front, and then on each side. So 4 opening windows up here.
Yep.
Would make the pilot house a lot nicer. So yeah.
And I'll do new Roman shades for up here as well.
Yep.
We have coverings for these windows, which
exterior.
Exterior only, which keeps the sun out and keeps this cool because it does get warm up here when we're just sitting at anchor. This does fold down into another full size or queen size bed. The cushions don't fit right, so we have to kind of figure that modification out. We haven't quite figured out how that's going to work. But we do use this as our VIP suite. Tim and Andy, our best friends, stay up here. My nephew has stayed up here. But it's a great place to spend a vacation, is up in the pilot house.
So that was the pilot house and everything that we want to do up there. We're going to go downstairs now into the basement. We have four different rooms: the engine room, mechanical room, and then 2 fore and aft lazarettes. We're going to go through all those and all the projects that we have down there. In the mechanical room, you're going to notice some wires it's a mess. Some of the mess is mine. I'm slowly working on cleaning up 30 years worth of electricians and different wiring people, or just stuff. Lots of stuff accumulates over 30 years. Old wires, abandoned wires. There's hundreds of feet of old RCA cable, or whatever it's called, for back when we used to have cable TV and stuff. So lots of cleanup to do downstairs. So let's go on a tour and show you the basement.
So one of the features that we loved about this Kadey-Krogen Whaleback is the 1-floor living. We're going to be living on this boat for hopefully the next 10 or 15 years and do some pretty extensive traveling. So 1-floor living, as we kind of age, is going to be really helpful. But the other nice feature is everything underneath our feet and to the hull is called our basement. It's all storage. So I will let Steve kind of talk about that. So what's in this forward laz?
So the bow thruster and the holding tank, our black water tank, are the 2 biggest things down here. The Kadey-Krogens have this big 100-gallon holding tank, which is amazing, but it's got some problems from 30 years ago. It needs more air vent to it, which I'm going to work on, and it needs to get rid of this hosing, and it'll have, I believe they call it a drop tube. So instead of a hose full of sewage water, it'll have a tube, a hard PVC tube coming down to the bottom, and it'll draw everything out that way. So I can get rid of, hoses are good for a year or 2, maybe 5, depending on who you're talking to, but then odor starts to leak through the hose. So if I can get rid of the hoses, that would be great. So there will be some holding tank work going on over the next year or 2, and a new bow thruster. This bow thruster is definitely strong and it's nice, but they make new ones with proportional control, I think is the name. This is either on or off. New bow thrusters have the ability to set it to 20% or 50% or whatever, and then you can hold against the dock. So if we were coming up to a dock and we got there, I could press a button and it could just kind of hold us there.
It'll help you single handle the boat when I'm working.
that or just every day. And another giant feature of the new bow thrusters is, I believe, and I do need to do more research, but I believe the bow thrusters will run off of my lithium battery bank. We have 690 amp hours of 24 volt lithium right now, and we're going to add another 230. So we have a lot of lithium. It should mathematically, I've talked to a couple of people, run a bow thruster. I just don't want to run this old bow thruster off of the new technology. But I believe a new bow thruster, I believe they'll work really well together. And then I could get rid of all the weight. This boat sits really heavy in the front. If I could get rid of these, it was 2 8D batteries, but now we have 8 group 31 batteries, but it's still a lot of weight. If I could get rid of that, it'd be great.
Is that more Christmas storage for me then?
It would be more storage down here. Yeah, absolutely, for sure. So, and I want to add some shelving and you know, make the whole room a little bit better down here. Clean up some old wiring.
Our water toys are down here.
Yeah, we keep some of our water stuff down here. Some tools, some boat cleaning supplies on this side. It's a huge room. Just needs to be freshened up. So those will be all future YouTube videos of working down here and making this room better.
Bringing this whale back.
Bringing this boat back. I am learning how to edit. So here we are. We're in our mechanical room. This is where the stabilizers, the 500 gallons of water, 260 gallons of water on each side, 4 air conditioners, all of the electrical, the new Victron, the new Epoch batteries that are need to get fuses when I get back home. There's a water maker over there in that corner that you're looking at now. On the starboard side, this is our starboard stabilizer. So the projects down here are going to be mostly just cleaning up all of the wiring. There's some hoses and some of this and some of that I want to redo someday in the future.
Look at all these wires.
Yeah, the wires are a mess. I have a lot of rerouting. I got to pull wires out of the panel and untangle them and put the wires back, you know, in a nice, neat manner. I've kind of pulled some wires out of the ceiling to start that process. But there's so many old wires that don't go into anywhere, old cable TV wires, old phone line. So there's a lot of old stuff that I got to pull out and just
including us. We're pretty old in here too.
We're getting old, yeah. So the hydraulic stabilizers work. This part of the stabilizers works great. There's a leak on each stabilizer. The feedback sensor leaks. I've replaced the seals, but they leak already. So that's going to be a video trying to figure out why those still leak. Water maker pump, air conditioner pump.
Our water tanks.
Yeah, our water tanks. We're going to go into the water tanks in a video. I want new gaskets on them. I want to scrub the inside and clean them out. So yeah, there'll be several little projects down here over the next year or two.
When we first took possession of this boat, we had 6 of us sitting down here in this. It might not look that big on this video, but it's actually quite roomy. You have an air compressor. You're going to redo
there's an air compressor. I have a better air compressor back home that I'm going to switch out. There's a water filter over here that we don't really need. Going to upgrade some Raycor stuff. Actually, this Raycor is going to stay in the engine room, which we'll show you later. I am going to put in, there's fuel transfer, but I really want to have a fuel polishing, so we'll put another Raycor in over there for fuel polishing and stuff. So when I move fuel around, it can be cleaned as it goes. So yeah, stand by for some work down here. So here we are in the engine room. I've removed all of the engine room hatches for y'all so you can kind of see down in. The two big projects down here, one will be this generator. It's a Northern Lights and it leaks oil. So I need to rebuild the engine, redo all the seals. I'll probably have the injectors and the high pressure pump cleaned at that time. It runs really well. It fires right up, and it produces nice electricity. But it just needs some love. So new gaskets, head gasket probably. I'll do everything. Oil pan gaskets, water pumps, everything, and then new hoses. We do have a new alternator for it already, so I'll be putting that on. Probably change the water pump, some other stuff like that. So we'll be doing a lot of work on the generator here in the next year or two. Once all that work is done, I want to put the heat shield back on. The heat shield was taken off before we bought it. Needs new insulation. And once the engine is all kind of rebuilt, I would love to put that heat shield back on. We have enough solar that we don't need the generator a lot. And when I finish my inverter system, I hope to really not need it much at all. But it's always really good to have. And someday we may put a hydraulic get home motor, which would run off the generator. So we'll still need the generator. The motor is going to get all new hoses, and, some new seals and gaskets, maybe the injectors. But we'll be doing a lot of maintenance here on the engine itself over the next couple years. It's got 10,000 hours, so it needs some love. Like I said, all new hoses, gaskets. Pretty soon here in the next 4 or 5 weeks, I do need to change the antifreeze and put some new thermostats in. I'll tell you about that story in a little while. But this is our hydraulic motor for the stabilizers, which I just rebuilt. There'll be a video on that soon. It looks like I got some oil leaking out of that, so I'll have to check that. And then our tanks. Someday in the next year or two, I want to pull these covers off the fuel tanks. There's 3 fuel tanks on the Whaleback. But I want to take the covers off, clean the tanks, and put new gaskets in. We do have fuel transfer pump, but it doesn't have a polishing system. So I'll be replumbing this someday and putting in another filter so I can polish the fuel as I go from tank to tank. And, lots of maintenance on here. Oh, the floor is sloped and slippery. So I think I want to try just putting in a non-skid on the floor and see if that makes a difference. It would be amazing to put like a flat floor in from the stringer over. But that would be a lot of work and take some of the headroom. It's not a super tall engine room. So if I had a floor in here, it would lower my headroom by 6 to 8 inches. And that wouldn't be fun. Oh, and I want to relocate this engine start battery. And it's an 8D. This engine doesn't need an 8D. A 40 would be fine, but I don't like it being right next to the engine. It makes working on the engine a little hard. So I think I want to put the battery over there somewhere. So someday we'll be doing some modification on the engine start battery location. Just general cleaning. I have the reverso oil change system and, all sorts of stuff. So, clean up and move. Oh, I do need to put in a new engine room fan. It sounds bad. So it's at the end of its life. I would love to put in a new seal, shaft seal, but we'll work on that and we'll go from there. So other than that, that's the engine room. Let me see if I can climb out quick and show you a bird's eye view. So with all three hatches off, we have a lot of room to get down there and work on the engines and the generator or one engine. So she is a single engine boat. Caterpillar 3208, no turbo. So thanks for watching. That was the pilot house, the mechanical room, the engine room, the forward bilge area, and we love you guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next episode where we go over the entire outside of the boat. I'm going to show you the whole boat. We'll show you everything wrong with the boat on the outside, or not wrong, but everything that on the outside of the boat that needs some love. There's a lot of work to do on the outside of the boat, so we'll show you all that in the next video. But for now, thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please hit like. If you want to share this video, share it. That would be amazing. Comment, ask me questions, tell me what I'm doing wrong, and we'll go from there. We very much appreciate everything. We'll talk to you soon.